Okay. So I wanted to do a bit of chanting tonight. We'll obviously go over the Tao Te Ching, but I might probably wrap up the Tao Te Ching about 7:45 so we can do a chanting session, because I don't know if you guys are doing the practices, and you may be, but the theory is the practice as well. Okay, so I keep saying this: if you do an hour's chanting a day, is life-changing. Master Shah has been saying a lot lately that trying to stop the thinking mind straight away can actually cause mental issues, okay, mental disorders. So he said, we want to get to an empty, still mind, but we don't just try and do that straight away. He said, the key is through mantra. Use a mantra to get you in a state of no mind. And it might take years. You might have experiences in one meditation, but chanting is very, very effective, and it makes sense. We can explain it. You're bringing in frequencies that are connected to whoever you're chanting to, okay? So yeah, we'll do a bit of a chanting session tonight. So does anyone want to ask anything before we get into the text? Does anyone want to share anything? Does anyone have any breakthroughs this week? Some people might not want to share their breakthroughs, that's fine, but going deep into the teachings and going deep into your life, going deep into the practice is very healing. No one want to share anything?
What do you mean breakthrough? Not understanding.
Yeah, breakthrough is basically, you can use an analogy of smashing through something that's been blocking you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've done that. My daughter wants to move to Muswellbrook, and that's another 3 hours away. And that means I'll have no family near me. But I managed to agree and move on. So that's a breakthrough for me.
Good. How do you feel?
Good.
Okay, good. Congratulations. And also congratulations anyone that's been struggling this week. Spiritual testing is real and it's good, okay? It's a gift from God. It's a gift because you're getting shown what we need to heal, which is a gift. And if we have appreciation, we can work on it. This is how life speaks to us. Life doesn't say, hey, Nick, you better go and fix that and heal that. Life will present me with something. And then that's how life says, this is what you need to work on now. If I say, oh, this is bullshit, blah, 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 I push it out again into the field. It will get more momentum of negativity. And God forbid, it might come back a fractal and manifest in my life again in a future life. And I might not have found my spiritual path then. I might not know this wisdom. And it might hit me harder. And then this is samsara. I'll push it out again. So when we're presented with challenges, thank you. I'm sorry if I've hurt anyone. Thank you for showing me this. Now heal it. That's when we have breakthroughs as well. I was actually talking to my mate today about the power of an apology, whether it's physical or spiritual. You know, you think about someone's, I don't know, late, said they'd meet you somewhere and they're late, and you're sitting there thinking, man, what a pain in the ass, how rude. When he gets here, I'm going to tell him this, I'm going to tell her this, blah, blah, blah. And they turn up and say, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. It's very powerful, okay? An apology is so powerful. And I tell you, an insight I had, it's even when you look at commerce, I'm in course again on Wednesday. When we look at commerce, an apology resets a commercial default. So even if I did something 12 months ago, if I get in the courtroom and I say, look, I'm really apologize for what I did, thought I did the right thing, I was going through a hard time, I'm sorry. It actually resets what I did. That's the power of an apology. And it's funny because if you don't understand that in commerce, what do people do when they enter a courtroom? They have a team ready to fight the other team, prove the other team wrong. Whereas an apology is acknowledged in commerce. So when we ask for forgiveness sincerely and we mean it, it's very, very effective. Very effective. Hello, Silvana. Silvana's just joined us.
Hello.
Does anyone have any questions on that just before we get going? No? Awesome. So, everyone sit up straight. If you can, you might want to lie down, that's fine. And just take a few deep breaths in, lower abdomen, chest, relax. Longer exhale than inhale. Fully exhale, slowly in. Stomach, chest. All the way out. Just pull that tummy in. Empty, empty, empty. Don't hold it. As soon as it's completely empty, in through the nose, stomach, chest. Continue with this breathing. Next time you're completely empty, open your eyes at a half gaze. When you inhale, breathe in the essence of the calligraphies behind me. Love, peace, harmony. Okay, see it as light. Completely empty. Inhale, stomach, chest. Breathing in the light of universal love, universal peace, universal harmony. Let it fill your whole being, every system of the body. Even slower out. Completely empty. Straight in. Hold the in-breath. Hold the love, the peace, the harmony in. Relax. This time as we exhale, we're going to exhale naturally, not empty completely, and we're going to release love, peace, harmony into our homes. So just exhale, a little bit faster, and then just relax. Continue to breathe in the essence of these calligraphies and breathe them out into your environment. Let them serve you and your homes and your families. Feel grateful. Feel relaxed. Soul power, dear divine, dear Tao. They're all spiritual fathers and mothers in heaven and on earth. Dear heaven, Mother Earth, all humanity, and all realms. They are all divine Tao treasures, downloads, orders, soma body transplants, Please be present. Please turn on all of our inner souls, every soul of our being. We love you all, honor you all, appreciate and respect you all. Please forgive me and my ancestors for any mistakes we've made in this life and past lives, consciously or unconsciously. We offer our unconditional forgiveness to anyone that's ever hurt or harmed us. May we join as one in love, peace, and harmony. To all of our ancestors, please be present. Body power. Place both hands over your lower abdomen and just breathe into your lower abdomen. Mind power, see what we've invoked. If you have a specific condition or a blockage or a challenge you're going through at the minute, it might be a mindset. Even when you open your eyes and you watch the text, to read the text we're going to go over, see light nourishing your rigid mindset or your negative mindset. See light nourishing and transforming your ego, opening your heart, healing you and boosting your immune system if your immune system is low. Okay, boosting your energy, stamina, vitality, immunity. I'll just share the screen and we'll get onto the text. Okay, we're up to chapter 57. Please share whenever you want any insights you get on the text or ask any questions. If you want to be a great leader, you must learn to follow the Tao. Stop trying to control. Let go of fixed plans and concepts, and the world will govern itself. The more prohibitions you have, the less virtuous people will be. The more weapons you have, the less secure people will be. The more subsidies you have, the less self-reliant people will be. Therefore, the master says, I let go of the law and people become honest. I let go of economics and people become prosperous. I let go of religion and people become serene. I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes common as grass. That's a beautiful chapter. They're all beautiful chapters. Who tries to control? Yeah, I actually had I won't go into it too much. If you want to be a great leader, you must learn to follow the Tao. Stop trying to control. The mind tries to control. Let go of fixed plans and concepts, and the world will govern itself. The more prohibitions you have, the less virtuous people will be. The more weapons you have, the less secure people will be. That's almost like a paradox. People get weapons to try and feel safe. But actually, cool story with David Icke. I actually went to see David Icke once. And he said, I've never had a security guard. And people always say, why haven't you been killed for doing what you do? And he said, the second that you have a security guard, you are vibrationally putting it out to the field that you need one, that you've done something wrong and that you need protecting. Therefore, you'll manifest events or people that might want to harm you. And I thought that was a great lesson, follows the Tao. The more weapons you have, the less secure people will be. You look at people who are famous, who are in the, the secret handshake club. They're always surrounded by guards, bodyguards. You look at like presidents, they've always got a lot of security, a lot of weapons around them. The more subsidies you have, the less self-reliant people will be. Okay, we see that in today's world. Therefore, the master says, I let go of the law and people become honest. People are naturally good. I let go of economics and people become prosperous. I let go of religion and people become serene. I love this one. I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes common as grass. He says in other chapters in this book, leave them alone. Leave the people alone. And they'll do good, because we're naturally good. I've shared it with you many times. We went traveling around Australia. I never met a single bad person in nearly 2.5 years. Does anyone want to share anything on that?
Yeah, this is amazing, and I agree with all of it. One of the things, though, I would question is, if you don't have fixed plans and concepts, then how do the roads get mended and the rubbish taken away? You have to have some sort of framework for all the things that need to happen. But I've done this myself before. I've created plans, but then I've let it go. So if it means that, then yes, that definitely works. But you have to have something in place in the first place, otherwise, nothing happens.
I agree. Okay, so I'm not saying I disagree, but I always remember listening to Michael Tellinger, and he was getting interviewed about the Ubuntu movement, and you could tell that over the years he'd been asked every possible question you could think of. And somebody said basically what you're saying. Someone saying, well, when he had like a Q&A with like a lot of people who were interested in joining a community, an Ubuntu community, somebody said, well, who's going to clean the toilets or something like that? And Michael Tellinger said, before he answered the question, he said there was like 5 people in the crowd who just said, I'll do it. And I think you're right. I think especially living in like our, cities and things like that, I think you're right. But at the same time, I think if people are left alone, those things will get done. I think the world right now is quite selfish because everything's so easy, everything's so convenient. And no one wants to do anything for anyone, not even themselves. But I think if we manage to go and start moving closer to being in harmony with the Tao, I believe those things would naturally get done when they need to be done, even maintained. Because even when you look at like Buddhist and Taoist temples and monasteries, they don't just sit around meditating all day. They meditate in the morning, and then they may have breakfast or something, or tea, and then they work. They work a lot. They maintain the property. They maintain the land. Then there'll be chanting periods. Then there'll be, which again is structured, by the way. There is a structure to that. But I also understand why there's a structure in temples as well, because there's baby steps. If you have to move out of one environment, which is like where we're living, for example, if you go to a monastery, I believe it's important to have some type of structure, like a discipline, almost like the military, for spirituality. And then that eventually will fall away, where you just do what is right. You do what you are guided to do without it being structured. And I might have gone a long way around it. I might not be even answering your question, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you. But I think Lao Tzu is saying those things will get done anyway if you just leave people alone.
It's interesting because at our kids camp, we have very high expectations of the young people. Never occurred to us not to have that. And then one year we had a woman come over that regularly crewed the Tony Robbins camp. And at the end of the evening, the kids all go off to their cabins, and we check on them. Well, there's 3 of us that check on them, so we don't go to bed until every kid is asleep. But this woman that came from the US was just beside herself. She said, "Where are all the guards? Who's walking them back to their cabins?" And we went, "No one's walking them back. They're quite capable of walking back to their cabins." And she said, at Tony Robbins, at the camps there, she said, "We have armed guards walking around the perimeter and walking around the cabins." I mean, that was just incredible to us. You know, it would never occur to us in a million years, still doesn't, to do anything like that. So it's also your perception.
Yeah, and we're also lucky where we live. I mean,
yeah,
my dad, when he comes over, he can't believe that I leave my keys in the ignition of my car. You know what I mean? Like I went for a swim the other day after work, and I'd just been paid off a job, and I had X amount of money in my wallet, I had my phone, everything. I just left it all in the car, and I left my keys in the ignition while I went for a swim. And my dad would just have a heart attack if he saw that. But that's because where I'm from, in Liverpool, England, you know, they'd smash your window, unfortunately, for £2 coin on your dashboard. So
yeah.
I think that plays a part in it as well. All good. Chapter 58. If a country is governed with tolerance, the people are comfortable and honest. If a country is governed with repression, the people are depressed and crafty. When the will to power is in charge, the higher the ideals, the lower the results. Try to make people happy and you lay the groundwork for misery. Try to make people moral, you lay the groundwork for vice. Thus the master is content to serve as an example and not to impose her will. She is pointed but doesn't pierce, straightforward but subtle, radiant but easy on the eyes. It's epic. So obviously he's sharing here. It's basically where we're at right now. If a country is governed with tolerance, the people are comfortable and honest. If a country is governed with repression, the people are depressed and crafty. You know, if you look at the word government, if you have a car that can do 200 miles an hour and you want to restrict it or retard it, so it can only go 100 miles an hour, what do you put on it? You put a governor on it. Okay, so government is to control the mind. When the will to power is in charge, which it is in the leaders today, the higher the ideals, the lower the results. When you try to make people happy, you lay the groundwork for misery. Has anybody, even in our own lives, actually seen others or tried ourselves to make someone happy? You lay the groundwork for misery. So true. Because you are not responsible for someone else's happiness. And what you think might make someone happy is we're all having our own experience. Try to make people moral. You lay the groundwork for vice. How do people try and make people moral? Guilt or fear. Thus, the master is content to serve as an example and not to impose their will. She is pointed but doesn't pierce. I'm only going to share my experience of being around a master as my master, okay, my teacher. Again, I'm not trying to promote my teacher at all, but I can, when I read this, if I read this and I didn't have an example, I wouldn't really be able to share much on it. But Master Shah, for example, is very, very pointed in a direction he wants to go. He's very, very clear on his mission. He's very, very clear on his vows, but he doesn't impose on anyone's will. And he doesn't pierce, he doesn't force. He's going there and he wants everyone to join him, and he will empower anyone that wants to help with that mission. Straightforward, but supple. Radiant, but easy on the eyes. That's a beautiful one. I always think of like celebrities. You know, you see celebrities now, they all look the same. They've all got like these, the so much Botox and stuff. And again, everything is a universal servant. So I think there is definitely, it wouldn't exist if there wasn't room or a purpose for things like Botox and things like that. They probably, they do have a function. But when you see people who are already very attractive and they're having like so much change in their face, by the time they're 18, 20, that's a problem on the inside. That's a problem with society. And I just think when you look at the celebrities, it doesn't matter what type of person they are on the outside. It's about trying to change the outside to look radiant. And as you get older, or as I get older, I just see their suffering. But someone who's in harmony with the Tao, whether it's a male or a female, they're easy on the eye, but they're radiant, their light shines from the inside out. Does anyone want to share anything on that chapter? Okay, 59. For governing a country well, there is nothing better than moderation. The mark of a moderate man is freedom from his own ideas. Tolerant like the sky, all-pervading like sunlight, firm like a mountain, supple like a tree in the wind, he has no destination in view and makes use of anything life happens to bring his way. Nothing is impossible for him. Because he has let go, he can care for the people's welfare as a mother cares for her child. This is beautiful. They're really beautiful chapters. In governing a country well, there is nothing better than moderation. The mark of a moderate man is freedom from his own ideas. That's, again, I'm seeing more actually how Lao Tzu is not directly pointing at the ego, but it is all ego. It's all mind that can't understand or comprehend the Tao. But the Tao is happening everywhere. The Tao is happening in the body. The mind can't figure out what the body's doing. The mind is, you can't comprehend the Tao. The mark of a moderate man is freedom from his own ideas. A man's or a human's own ideas puts them in a box, separates them from the infinite. Tolerant like the sky, all-pervading like sunlight, firm like a mountain, supple like a tree in the wind. He has no destination in view and makes use of anything life happens to bring his way. Again, this is like I mentioned earlier, just being grateful for whatever presents itself and know that it's perfect and know that it's there to be experienced, there to help us heal. Nothing is impossible for him. It's a big one. The Tao is infinite, the Tao is limitless. When you look at the physical world, there is an infinite number of amount of water. There is an infinite number of sand grains. There is infinite number of trees continue to replenish. And yet we live such limited lives because of the ego. The ego limits everything. Nothing is impossible for him. Because he has let go, he can care for the people's welfare as a mother cares for her child. Because he's let go of what he believes should happen, of his own stuff. I tell you now, people I know, and including myself, my family members, people I see every day, people I've worked with, you suffer when you're focused on yourself. It's just that simple. That doesn't mean that we neglect ourselves. Okay, we look after our health. We do the practice. We appreciate that we have this existence so we can serve all beings. But when the focus is truly on ourself, not the true self, the false self, the ego, we suffer. When we're not helping people, we suffer. Does anyone want to share anything on that chapter? We'll do one more chapter and then we'll do some chanting. No? Okay. 60. Nearly against the end of this text. Governing a large country is like frying a small fish. Even though Lao Tzu's talking about how to govern, there's guidance here on being a country leader or whether you're a general or something. This still goes in for our everyday life as being a parent, as being a friend. Okay, so governing a large country is like frying a small fish. You spoil it with too much poking. Have you ever observed or experienced just interfering too much with your kids when they're doing something? It just pisses them off. Or someone doing it to you. Center your country in the Tao, and evil will have no power. It's a powerful text, this chapter. Not that it isn't there, but you'll be able to step out of its way. Give evil nothing to oppose, and it will disappear by itself. Okay. Center your country in the Tao, and evil will have no power. The Tao, remember, is beyond yin and yang, beyond the battlefield. This is actually wisdom that the Freemasons use. The checkered board, black and white checkered board. You had chess pawns on the board. They believe they're beyond it. They manipulate it, which is counter to the Tao, because the Tao doesn't manipulate. The Tao is out of yin yang altogether. Okay. So evil has no power because you are off the battlefield. You are away from human thinking. You are detached and you are one with everything because you're with the Tao. Not that it isn't there, not that evil isn't there, but you'll be able to step out of its way. Give evil nothing to oppose and it will disappear by itself. This is why, even in the men's group I'm in, different people messages I see going around, people saying, I'm a light worker and we need to fight, we need to fight, we need to fight. I don't think that's the way, because I think when we fight, what we fight, we become. They know this. When people have said about fighting, when the lockdowns are on, fighting with the police and standing our ground, I appreciate it, and there might be a place for that. But to those who are manipulating everything, who are at the top of the pyramid, we're fighting with police officers. The police officers are us. They're humans who are, a lot of them are not aware of what goes on at the top. The top, when I say the top, I mean the top of the pyramid, the negative polarity beings. When you look at not complying as a solution, that's basically what Lao Tzu is saying here. Not complying is not resistance. It's just going about your life and not giving it any power, not giving any resistance. They need resistance. They need our participation. and our contribution and our energy for their plan to manifest. Does anyone have any questions on that? I'm sure someone will have a question on that. No, it's quiet tonight. Do we have time for one more? We do one more. When the country obtains great power,
I'm just taking notes.
Oh, that's okay, sorry. When a country obtains great power, it becomes like the sea. All streams run downward into it. The more powerful it grows, the greater the need for humility. Okay? This is very important. The dark side, right? Try and use technology or try and force power or try and get power from the people. They try and get worshipped being celebrities. Master Shah says, spiritually speaking, power is given, okay? Power is given by heaven. So this is a powerful chapter. When a country obtains great power, it becomes like the sea. Why do all streams flow to the sea? Because the sea is lower than they are, okay? The more powerful it grows, the greater the need for humility. The more humble you are, the more humble a person is, the more aligned with the Tao they are. It's like a paradox, okay? The more power is given by heaven. So remember this. If you have a noble, humble teacher, or you see someone in the world and they genuinely are humble and they get great healing power, if they get a big ego, if power can be given by heaven, can it be taken away? Absolutely, it can be taken away, okay? Humility means trusting the Tao. These sentences alone are absolute gems, okay? Humility means trusting the Tao, thus never needing to be defensive. There's so much in that. Humility means trusting the Tao, thus never needing to be defensive. A great nation is like a great man. This is the macro and the micro. When he makes a mistake, he realizes it. Having realized it, he admits it. Having admitted it, he corrects it. He considers those who point out his faults as his most benevolent teachers. He thinks of his enemy as the shadow that he himself casts. If a nation is that's meant to say centered, I got this from a website, this text, and copy and pasted it, and that's why I've been thrown off a few times, because I know this text like the back of my hand, and there's a few typos. If a nation is centered in the Tao, if it nourishes its own people and doesn't meddle in the affairs of others, it will be a light to all nations in the world. Now he's talking about a nation here, but a great nation is like a great man. He's talking about us individually as well. When he makes a mistake, he realizes it. Having realized it, he admits it. Having admitted it, he corrects it. This is a forgiveness practice. He considers those who point out his faults as his most benevolent teachers. And remember, never gets defensive. What gets defensive? Okay, what sees people as arrogant pain in the asses who point out their faults? It's their ego. Okay, he's talking the difference between mind and the difference between heart and being in harmony with nature and the Tao. He thinks of his enemy as the shadow that he himself casts. Okay, if a nation is centered in the Tao, or a person is centered in the Tao, if it nourishes its own people and doesn't meddle in the affairs of others, it will be a light to all nations in the world. It'll be a light to everyone in its life. That's a beautiful chapter to finish on. Is there any questions totally fine if not.
There's something in psychology, it just reminded me of that when you're learning psychology, and it's from Carl Jung.
Yeah.
And he talks about, we have a shadow personality, and everything that we have that's unresolved, we bury into that shadow personality. But it has to be resolved. So what happens is we project it onto others and it comes back in our face. So that just reminded me of that, because, we are those issues. If you've got someone coming at you that's angry, it's your anger that you're projecting on. So yeah, that's quite interesting.
Because it's what we've spoken. It's funny, there's always like a real synchronicity, because I never read what chapters we're up to. But even just what we started off with and what you just said, it comes full circle. Okay, we keep putting all our shit in the cupboard, under the stairs. It needs to get cleaned out at some point. But if we don't clean it, right, life will give it to us. This is the blessing of karma. Karma is our best friend. Okay, so it shows us, and instead of going, this guy is a pain in the ass, he said, whatever he said, we say, thank you for showing me what I need to heal. Thank you. Everything that comes up is ready to be released, ready to be healed. It's showing itself to be healed, so it's a gift. And we only experience it in the present moment. But the present moment is such a gift, because we literally, this is not like fuzzy wuzzy, might be true, sounds nice. In the present moment, this present moment is a complete manifestation of the past to get us to this point, right? The future is fundamentally open, even though we still have karma, we have to manifest, but this is why I love Chogyam Trungpa's book called The Future is Open on Karma. It's a beautiful example, different way of seeing karma. It fundamentally says with meditation, when karmic lessons come to us, only if we're in a meditative state, only if we're in the present moment, can we handle them, can we see them for what they are and heal them. If we're not in a state of meditation, we're not present, as I said, they just hit us like a brick, like a car crash, and we just push them out, or we make them worse, so we hurt more people, so on and so forth. But we can, in the present moment, what I was going to say is, we literally can heal the past. We can heal the past in the present moment and change our future direction. I've made mistakes in this life that I'm really sad about. There's a few events that I've had in my life that are part of my meditations all the time. I don't get guilty over them. I don't. That's a lie, to be honest with you. Not necessarily guilty, but there's sometimes, if I really reflect on them, I do feel sad. I just think, even though I think these people are okay now, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't killed anyone or anything like that, but when we revisit these things, it's painful. This is why we suffer. Okay, we hate someone, we're gonna suffer down the line. That's why we have to be compassionate for those that are committing suffering, that are hating others, and those that are having it done to them. We have to see both sides of it, because it's very hard to forgive yourself. But I know that we can heal it now. I know that every time I go back and I invoke them, I send all my love, I deeply apologize, and I bless their journey wherever they are. I know that's healing the past, because it fundamentally makes me feel better too. So rather than being paralyzed by our mistakes, Master Sha went through a phase a few years ago, and he was like, jump out of samsara. Didn't use the word samsara, but he said, you've made a mistake and you're paralyzed, you feel guilty. Jump out and be a Buddha. Okay? Jump out and be a Buddha. It's a great line. I wanted to get it tattooed on me. jump out of the samsara, which is, oh, I shouldn't have done this. How could I have ever done this? Blah, blah, blah. Is a big mistake. What happens if what happens if I've this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Dog chasing its tail. Jump out and be a Buddha. The Buddha is present now. And commit to my life to serving others. It just came to me, so I'll share it. Gandhi, when the Muslims were fighting with the Hindus, and Gandhi was fast, like he stopped eating, and he said, I won't eat until the war stops. Apparently a gentleman manages to get to Gandhi's bed, and Gandhi's like wasting away, and he's got a piece of bread in his hand, and he says to Gandhi, eat. He said, I won't be responsible for your death. He said, eat some food. He said, I'm already going to hell. And Gandhi looks at him, and Gandhi said, why are you going to hell? And he said, I saw somebody kill my baby, or my kid, my young kid. And he said, and I killed a young baby, a young kid. And he's just distraught, right? And Gandhi turns around and Gandhi says, I know a way out of hell. And he looked at him apparently, and Gandhi said, there's so many kids around India that need a father, that have got no parents. You get one and you raise them as your own, and you love them. You save other kids. And the guy just burst out crying. There's a very similar story in Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm sorry to share these because they're very harsh stories, but they can be used to open our heart. Thich Nhat Hanh shared a story that he in his book called At Home in the World. It's a beautiful book. And he said after the Vietnam War, he did a retreat in America. And he said it was a very hard retreat because a lot of the US soldiers who had PTSD, they still actually thought this was like they were going to get they were going to get killed because he was Vietnamese as well. And he said on like day 3, a gentleman got up and shared his story. And he said he hadn't slept for days. He was in war. He said all of his team had been killed by the Viet Cong. He said he was on his own, and he said he saw some sandwiches on the side, and he thought that those sandwiches would belong to the Viet Cong. So he put explosives in the sandwiches. This makes me cry every time I share this story. And he said he sat back and watched who ate the sandwiches, and he said it was like a nursery opened, and these kids around the age of 5 ate the sandwiches, and they all died. There was like, I don't know how many of them was. They died horrific, and he watched them die, right? And he said, this is the part that makes me cry. He said, I've only ever shared that story with my mum. And he said his mum covered her ears and was begging him to stop. And she said, you have to forgive yourself because this is war. You know, we see Hollywood glorifying these war movies, and you hear stories like that and you just can't imagine what some of these people have been through. But Thich Nhat Hanh went to his tent, went to see him the next day, and he said, and it was a teaching on the present moment, and he said, that what you did, that mistake you made has been done now. And he said exactly the same as what Gandhi said. He said, there's a lot of children that need help in the world. And I believe that in this present moment, you can help save other children. And, because in the Buddhist tradition, they believe that if you were swimming towards an island, if that island, when you got closer to it, was hell, right? Would you keep swimming towards it, or would you swim to another island? You can change direction. And that's why a lot of Buddhist stories are very powerful, because in Buddhist history, in Tibet and China and different parts of the world, there's been people who have made huge mistakes and attained really high levels of enlightenment in the same lifetime by dedicating to their spiritual practice. So these should give anybody motivation who's made mistakes. And this war veteran who he mentions in the book, he actually has dedicated his life to helping kids. He's got all foundations now, and that's what keeps him going, because he couldn't even see kids. He'd just lose his mind if he saw children before that retreat. So yeah, these are very harsh stories, but they're also very powerful stories. Does anyone want to share anything before we get into a meditation?
Yes, Nick. I look back at, raising my children, and I try to go back and, wherever there were mistakes, and say sorry. And there's nothing, huge that I've done, but just when look at even my pregnancy with my first daughter, where there's times where I was stressed and something wasn't very pleasant with my partner and things, and so I've gone back and just apologized, and even used Dr. Emoto and asked for healing the waters and things like that. Could you add anything to that kind of practice to improve it at all?
Yeah, for me, one aspect of forgiveness practice, which I got from my teacher, which I think is very powerful, is it's the same in Buddhism as well. Like the Dalai Lama said, made it very logical. He said, if you were to logically look at our existence, we are one being, and to focus on that one being and neglect all other beings is almost insanity. So when you look at universal meditation, so let's say you're going to do your practice and you want to ask for forgiveness for a mistake you made while you were pregnant, right? Acknowledge in the invocation that you apologize to your kid and to your husband. Let's say, I don't know what the situation is, but just let's say.
Just that anger, let's say yeah. I got angry and while I was pregnant, and I just think back at just trying to heal, being, emotional while I was pregnant.
Yep, that's okay. So you just apologize for it. Apologize to everyone that it may have affected. Offer them forgiveness if they've ever done it to you. But the key is, in my opinion, is when you do the meditation, if you chant love, peace, harmony, for example, invite everyone involved to chant for all beings, because everybody is serving the greater good. This is a massive way to purify our karma, but also realize that that version of you is dead now. It's gone. Okay, so you've got to let it go. So you've got to, once you've apologized sincerely, like if I did something that upset your husband, you invited me around for dinner and I said something way out of order, and your husband was like, that was no need for that, and you said, you know what, that was terrible, Nick. If I came and said to you, I'm so sorry, I really didn't mean to offend you guys, and I said what I said because of this, and you actually could understand where I was coming from, why I said it, so there's an element of compassion. You think, oh my gosh, he actually thought this, it's a misunderstanding. There's no need for me to continue apologizing. Once it's a genuine apology, right? I might go and see your husband and say the same thing, say, I'm really sorry, like, please forgive me. But if every time I saw you guys, I said it, you'd be like, mate, it's gone now. You don't need to keep going on about it. It's gone now. Okay. So that's important, because we might have to constantly invoke certain souls. That's why we do a forgiveness practice every day for all of our mistakes. And if you want to work on, let's say, when you were pregnant, if it's one specific thing like that, once you've apologized sincerely, you have to leave it there, okay? And trust that it's being healed. And those people are still in your life. And even if they're not, let's say they've transitioned, they're still connected to you, because they wouldn't have been that close to you if you didn't have a karmic relationship. We have to learn to keep moving forward. Jump out and be a Buddha. Okay, be enlightened now. Keep moving in the right direction. Does that answer your question?
Oh, it sure does. That's fantastic. Thank you.
That's all good. Okay, I'm actually going to stop sharing here, and I'm just going to mute myself and my camera. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. If anyone wants to have a bathroom break before we chant, we'll do it now. We'll just have a couple of minutes. Everyone back?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I might chant a couple of different mantras tonight. But we'll try and get into a mantra, okay? So the first one we're going to chant is, I forgive you, you forgive me, all souls forgive each other, bring love, peace, harmony. It's a very powerful mantra, okay? We might even change the lyrics a little bit at some point to, I forgive Wan Ling forgive me, Wan Ling forgive each other, bring love, peace, harmony. The reason we'll start with I forgive you is because I'm going to get you to think of someone or something, some situation that you know you have either been hurt by or you've hurt. So it's specific. And we'll chant this for a while, and then we're going to broaden it to everyone. Now, when you chant, I forgive Wan Ling, okay, you're forgiving anybody for doing anything. And it's got to start that way, because you are leading by example. Jump out, be a Buddha. Be a Buddha and lead by example. Forgive all beings. Wan Ling, forgive me. Okay? The second line, because we're asking for forgiveness. We wouldn't be doing this practice and wasting our time if we were not ready to ask for forgiveness sincerely and offer forgiveness. Wan Ling, forgive each other. Wan Ling, by the way, means every soul, every single soul in creation. Whether it's seen or unseen, everything in creation, past, present, or future. It represents everything. Wan Ling, forgive each other. Hold that intention in your heart. When you chant these lines, you are pushing the message into the field. It's like a prayer. Wan Ling, forgive each other, is a calling. Everyone forgive each other. Feel, when you get to that line, feel what it would be like if every soul forgave each other. Okay? There's love, peace, harmony right there. Universal love, peace, harmony. So we'll get into it. So get comfortable. One hand on your heart, body power, one hand on your lower abdomen. First, we're going to be specific. Dear soul, mind, body of, and then name someone or something that you need to work on forgiving. They have hurt you or you've hurt them. First person that comes to your mind. It could be your whole family, okay? If it's your whole family, it could be a whole business. It could be a number of things. If it's your whole family, see your whole family. This is mind power. See your whole family sitting in a circle. If it's an event, if it was you were drink driving and you had a car crash, see the event and see everybody involved. You don't have to know who they are, but just the intention of anyone involved in that car crash. When I was drunk and I crashed into everyone, okay? That's just an example, by the way. Just excuse me, sorry, I'm getting so many texts. I'm just gonna have to tell this person to stop texting me. So that's mind power. So we'll say, dear soul, my body of, you can say my whole family, or that one person, or my wife, or my son, or you know, you can name a few of them. Please come. Please be here. I love you. You have the power to heal yourself. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I love you. It might be a family that you know that's struggling. Right? If it's a family that you know that's struggling, you can call the family. Please forgive each other. Okay? Please forgive me if I've contributed in any way to your family's suffering, but taking responsibility for that own part. Dear divine, dear Tao, dear God, okay? Dear the Tao. Dear all our spiritual fathers and mothers, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Taoists, saints, holy saints. You will name specific saints that resonate true. Jesus, Mary, Buddha, Guanyin, Amitofu, Lao Tzu, call them, see them. See nature, the sun and the moon, the earth, nourishing this practice and all involved. I love you all. Please bless this practice. See universal light flooding through everyone who has been invoked. And this can be an infinite number of beings. Sound power is what you chant or sing is what you become. You sing forgiveness, you become forgiveness. Okay? So I'm going to chant. Chant out loud if you can. Get used to that, because chanting out loud stimulates the bigger spaces of the body. Chanting silently vibrates the smaller spaces in the body, and this is yin-yang alternation, okay? But try and feel the mantra. See who we've invoked. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. See everyone you've invoked singing to each other, okay? I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you, you forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. Please forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Silently. I'll chant low for you, but just you stay silent. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. Please forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. All souls forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Now, everyone we've invoked, including the soul world, the saints, we're going to chant now, I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling, forgive me. Wan Ling, forgive each other. Bring love, peace, harmony. See all your loved ones, everyone we've invoked, chanting for this is universal service. All beings we've invoked doing universal service. Feel the forgiveness. Feel the consciousness lift. Feel the karma be purified. We chant out loud. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive Wan Ling. Wan Ling forgive me. Wan Ling forgive each other. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Silently. We're going to change the mantra, same melody. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. Dear Divine, please bless all souls we've invoked. We chant out loud. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. Tao. Tao love, Tao forgiveness, Tao compassion, Tao light, 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 Tao love, Tao forgiveness, Tao compassion, Tao light. Silently chant divine. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. Stay silent. We're going to put one hand gently behind our back, so basically where the base of our tailbone is. And even if your hand is facing outward, just with the back of your hand, we're going to, and this other hand, or you can alternate your hands, we're going to tap or pat with our fist our message center and our snow mountain area. Okay, these are the yin yang parts of the body. Okay, yin is the front half of the body, yang is the back half. The yang eye, the black with the white eye in the front, is the heart. The white yang of the back, the yin eye, the black eye, is the snow mountain. So this balances yin yang in the body. We're going to continue chanting, but we're going to tap the snow mountain area. We're going to see light flooding into the body, opening the heart and opening the snow mountain area. Okay. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. You can smile when you're singing. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. You can swap hands. And remember, this is a joyful thing. You might be crying, you might feel sad, but it's a joyful thing. We're healing our loved ones, okay? We're healing ourselves. We're healing all beings. Divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light, divine love, divine forgiveness, divine compassion, divine light. Silently. Feel divine love. Feel divine love and feel divine love nourishing every aspect of your being, nourishing all your loved ones, everyone we've invoked, all the inner souls and outer souls, nourishing all the saints, all the Buddhas. Feel their divine love. Feel divine forgiveness. This is unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness. Healing our mistakes, healing our relationships, healing our sicknesses, our mindsets. Feel divine compassion, divine understanding. Allow divine compassion to allow us to understand our own suffering when we made mistakes in the past, to see clearly and understand the suffering of those we've invoked. Unconditional compassion. Feel and see divine light. Pure, unconditional light. Highest frequency. Purifying any karmic signatures, any low vibrations. We'll sing 4 or 5 rounds of Love, Peace, Harmony, just the English, okay? And feel each line of this mantra. It's the essence of the spiritual journey. The Buddha said, all sickness comes from the heart. I love my heart. Enlighten your heart. Both hands on your heart. I love my heart and soul. Acknowledge the soul. I love all humanity. As the Shah said in Divine Soul Songs, I've just listened to it. He said, everyone who's listening to this audiobook, you have searched for lifetimes for the true wisdom. And he said the divine releases it in line 2. I love all humanity. He said the purpose of life is to serve. This line 2 is the golden key. All join hearts and souls together to call in for everyone to unite to bring love, peace, harmony. Beautiful mantra. Sing from your heart. Even though we're singing 5 rounds, sing from your heart. I love my heart and soul. Forgive yourself. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Last mantra, okay? I love Wan Ling. See Wan Ling singing with you. They're singing, they love Wan Ling. Give all your love to all beings. I love Wan Ling. 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 Longer pause now. So we take a slow inhale. I love Wan Ling. I love Wan I love one lean. 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 Make a request. I'm going to offer a blessing. Make a request for healing, then surrender it. Be grateful. You. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, you, yeah. Hey, you. You. Hey, hey, you. I love you. I love all of you. I love you. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, you. You. Spend some time in silence. Just feel your field now. I really love and appreciate you guys. I'm very lucky to have you all in my life. I'll always be here for you all. Stay with the breath. Now bring all your awareness with your inhale to your left foot. Let your left foot know how much you love and appreciate it. Right foot. Left leg. Right leg. Breathe in and out into your feet and your legs. Both legs, both feet. Left hip joint. Right hip joint. Both hip joints. Your whole lower abdomen, sexual organs, all of your organs. Middle of your torso, from your navel to your heart chakra, all your lungs there, spleen, pancreas, spine. Love and appreciate the body. Left arm, left hand. Right arm, right hand. Both arms. Upper body, lungs, heart, ribs, chest, neck, your head, your left brain. Love and appreciate your left brain, your right brain. Your corpus callosum that connects them. Whole brain. Give love to your pituitary gland, pineal gland, all glands, your eyes, your ears, your senses, love them. Your teeth, your whole body, love and appreciation. Give all your love and appreciation to God, to Tao. To all your spiritual fathers and mothers, all your guides, family members. Give all your love and appreciation to the present moment. It is a soul. Everything has a soul. The present moment has a soul. To this beautiful earth, to the sun and the moon. Just be the condition of love and gratitude. And when you're ready, put your hands in the traditional prayer position. And speak from your heart. So from your heart, we say how. How means perfect for everyone. Perfect. Everything's perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. That doesn't mean all souls are going to leave. Your guides are your guides. They'll always be with you. It's a courtesy, spiritual courtesy. It's a respect thing. You can respectfully return. Souls I've called respectfully return. Appreciate your service. And take your time. Feel the body, move the body, have a drink, whatever you need to do. And then If you want to share anything or ask any questions, please feel free. It's 8:45. If anyone wants to just finish early, that's totally fine. Or well, not early, we'll finish straight away. I mean,
Thank you, Nick. That was beautiful.
thank you. Thank everyone that came.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, brother. How did everyone go? Did anybody have a nice experience? Any insight?
It was it was just very, very peaceful.
Nice.
And I could feel my field expand. I could feel that.
Yeah, nice. Be nice if we could all get together at some point in the future and all do a really nice chanting session in person. It's very powerful. Group practice is so powerful.
Mm.
Wherever you
Well,
go.
let's plan it. Let's plan it.
Yes, let's plan it. Love to.
Sorry, Debbie, come on.
I'd love to get together. I'll travel.
Yeah, nice. Nice. But even when you guys feel comfortable, if you guys feel ready, you can start a group, a chanting circle. You make a massive difference. All good? Well, on that note, we'll stop recording. Press stop recording now.